Welcome to Vantage Technology webinar. Today we are going to deep dive into the Agentforce template trigger prompt flow. In this session, we will explore how to implement the template trigger prompt flow within this Flex template for powerful dynamic result. In our previous session, we already went through the what is Flex prompt template. So let's get started with introduction of what are template trigger prompt flow in Agentforce. Before starting this session, let me introduce myself. My name is Rajneesh Kumar. I am the CTO of Vantage Technology. I am the MuleSoft ambassador as well as AI influencer award winner. I have a total more than 25-year experience in IT industry. So let's get started with the what is a Flex template trigger prompt flow. So what are the template trigger prompt flow in Agentforce? So agent so template trigger are a powerful feature within an Agentforce platform that let you design dynamic reusable AI prompt tailor your organization need. This template enhance how AI agent interact with user by making the prompt modular, parameterized, and easily maintainable. So template trigger flow are referred to the AI driven workflow that are initiated automatically or manually based on the flex prompt template. These flows use the logic and variable defined in the template to dynamically generate prompt and guide AI agent through a task or a process. So, so how it work in Agentforce? Prompt template trigger, how it will work? So first is flex prompt template defined. You create a flex prompt template uh, using the prompt builder with placeholder like generate a summary for the force type. If you notice is this is a placeholder. If you notice this is a placeholder, so where you are defining your prompt template placeholder is. So next is attach template to the prompt flow. You associate this template with a prompt flow, a structured set of a step that define how that AI should retrieve data, process logic, generate a response, and trigger action. That is what is a trigger action is that is update CRM, escalate a case, send an email. Those are the trigger action. You can attach template to a prompt flow. Third one is flow gets trigger. So what is the prompt flow is triggered by user action, system event, and agent decision. So user action, that is a click, input, or voice, or those kind of action. System is new lead, case escalated. Those are the system event. And then agent decision is confidence, a score is low, ask for clarification. Those are the things you can trigger that flow. Fourth one is dynamic prompt is constructed. The system fill in the variable from live data or user input, then send the constructed prompt to the LLM. Just for example, generate summary for opportunity with ID 1234, highlighting stage, amount, and next step. These are the example you can create for prompt for LLM. And fifth is AI response driven action. Based on the AI output, the flow may uh, populate a form, update Salesforce record, generate a summary of an email, ask a follow up question, trigger another subflow. So this is a way you can trigger. So now benefit of Agentforce. What is a benefit for the template trigger prompt is first is automation with intelligent. So automate business logic while still leverage the creativity and reasoning of the LLMs. Second way is context aware action. So promote prompt and action by dynamically adjust based on the real time CRM context is. Third one is rapid scalability. Build once, reuse across the workflow with different data or roles is. Basically, you are building only one, and then you can feeding the data through the variable, and then you are using across your different roles and data. And last but not least is low code friendly. Business user can manage template and flow without deep coding knowledge. So these are the benefit of the template trigger prompt flow is in agent forces. So let's jump on the demo and how we can configure the flex template trigger prompt flow. We already went through the how you can create the flex template trigger, flex template. This session we are going to walk through the how you can configure the flex template trigger prompt flow. Now, in this prompt template, in this flex prompt template, you see like only one experience is coming. I created the two experience. It is only coming as a one experience. To getting the all experience, whatever the listed, whatever you created the experience, you have to create the flow so that it will pull and loop all your experience. To to get those all into your flex prompt template, you have to create the flow. Let's go back to your screen and go over here, search for the automation. Now I'm creating a flow so that I can pull all experience from the experience object. Automation. I'm in flow. So if you notice is nothing is no flow is created over here. Is let's all flow. Click the all flow. Um, Couple of flow is already there. Let's create the one flow so that it will pull all your experience from the experience object. Let's create the new flow. New. I'm creating the new flow so that all your experience from the experience object it will pull. It's let's okay. Now I'm going to create the trigger new. Now I'm creating the prompt. Now, since I'm creating the prompt, is a prompt template trigger prompt flow I'm creating. So here you search for the prompt, you can see this prompt trigger prompt flow. You click this one, by default it will come from for you is all information. So the two box come for you. One is a starting box and one for the end box. Now you can add based on the your requirement is. So this is a manual input. I'm selecting, make sure that is being selected. Manual input. Now you can left hand side go to the this sign, click this one, add the new resources. And now you are adding a new resources. You select for the new resources and go for the variable, go for variable, and go for the API name. So you remember we created the one experience API. So that I'm using over here. API name is reservation. Reservation API I created in my previous um, step. And now data type, record, and now object is external API, external reservation. This is it is pulling from the external reservation. Make sure that available for input. You also make sure that this is being checked so that it will select the input. It will take the input. and now you can done. So I created the one resources. I'm going to create the another resource, and now you save the flow. I am now you can click the save. Now you have to pass this information. I'm just making sure flow level. I'm passing this information. Flow level. I just put the flow level is a get experience newsletter data. It will populate automatically. It will populate for flow API name. I'm just uh, adding some description over here so that it will make sense. And now click save. Now, I'm adding a element to the prompt flow. This is I created the prompt flow. Now I'm going to add the element. Now I'm going to over here. If you're familiar with the Salesforce flow, here is you can add the element over here. Now I am getting a record. Let's take the get first. Get the object. Get record. Get record. And now I'm going to put the table name as a guest experience. Guest experience API name automatically will populate. Now I'm going to get the all user experience. I'm not adding any condition over here. And now this is experience object. Experience object. And now condition and condition requirement, I'm making sure there is a none. So I'm selecting none so that it will pull all experience record objectives. If you add any condition for this flow, it will only once that condition is used, then only that part of the subset will come for this record is. Make sure they're no sorted. By default, I'm going. You can sort ascending descending order, but I'm going with the no sorted. And now and then making sure the all record is being selected. How many record to store? All record. Like if you have a small set of record, go with the all record. If you have any requirement, only first record or second record based on that 2020 record. So make sure the all record is. Now you can click the save. Now based on this flow, all record from the experience object it will save and it will display. Now it is being saved. Now since all record you get the all record from the experience object. Now I have to iterate those record. uh, I, I created the two experience, so I want to make sure that those two experience will display for you. So I just adding the loop over here. I'm creating a loop. I'm creating a loop experience. I just put the loop over here, loop experience. By default, it will go to the loop experience. I'm just looping all my record from the experience object. Now for collection variables, select. Just getting experience. I select the experience from the guest experience that I selected. collection variable. This will go over here. And by default, I'm going with the first item to the last item. So I'm going with that one. And now I save. Now I'm going to add over here field. Now I'm going with the add prompt instruction over here, so that you are iterating those object and adding the prompt instruction. I'm just setting this one template, and by default API name will populate it for you. And now description, add some description, meaningful description, so that make sure that this information is, that information. And now here, if you remember what I created, template, uh, prompt, and then pass that those placeholder, same thing I'm going to do over here. So now I just replace those variable over here, experience name loop. Now it is going to the loop experience name. One by one, it is going to the record and creating a loop experience, location, and description. That is going in the record, and adding those field over here is. So make sure that is everything is created. Now I can save, and now I'm activating this flow so that I can use within my uh, prompt template, flex prompt template is. Now if this flow is ready for you to use in flex prompt template. Now again I'm going back to the your prompt. If you go back over here, and now click this one, setup. Now I'm assigning this flow to the our flex prompt template, so that dynamically it will populate all your field, whatever experience you created. Currently we created two experience that will display. If you notice is when I was showing is when I was creating initially, it was showing only one experience. Now it will go to the loop, it will pull all both of the experience, and it will display for you. So let's search for the prompt, go to prompt builder. Now we created the prompt template. So this I created, just I created. So now click this one so that you can modify. Once you created a flow, now you can come to the flex prompt template. If you notice is we created this part in our previous step. So what you can do it, you can remove this one, and you can add your flow, get experience newsletter, and then save as a new version. Once you save as a new version, now prompt should look like this one. So what it is going to do flow is basically is looping through the all your experience object, and it will display for you. Now if everything looks good, is green everything, just want to make sure that it is saved properly. I just refresh it, and now activated this. So this flow is, now we can test it, this flex prompt template with the flow. Now preview this one, and we are passing some of the information over here. Suppose that I'm just selecting reservation as a 02 experience family. We created the previous one, so now you can again preview how is going to look like from experience object. Now it will pull all your experience from your experience object. So notice is now for this user, it is enabling all whatever the activity you define for particular day or particular time, it will display for you. So we created, you remember we created the sunrise yoga as well as family karaoke night, and the two different time. One is early morning 7 a.m. and then second one is 6 p.m. in evening. And the location of this two is also coming. So if you notice is in without flow, it was coming only one um, experience which is come as a sunrise yoga, and now this time it is calling to the flow, and flow it is looping to the all your experience and displaying over here both of the item over here, and then that information sent to the your uh, LLM or AI side, and that prompt is sending back to with this information. This is what response we are getting from your LLM is, and this is a more meaningful. And if you notice is this is what is look like in the resolve prompt, and this is what your response you are going to get as a user experience. Your user is going to see this is. So this is what is a flex prompt template, and with the flow, enabling with the flow, you can do a couple of way. You can call to the different API, external API, and other parties. I am going to cover in the in next session. Thanks for joining for this session for the prompt flex prompt template. Thank you very much.